Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Alyssa. Welcome back, guys. It is very rainy and cold here in Chicago. It's literally so foggy out. I'm looking outside my window right now. Pooter's right there. And I am so cold. I'm literally sitting here with like 2 blankets. So anyways, I feel like this little corner in my apartment has become my little chit chat station with you guys. I'm literally like right next to my couch, but I have like a blank wall and it kind of fits the vibe. So we are here for another little chit chat, little big sister chat. At least I hope that's what it feels like for you guys. Something I've really been wanting to talk about on this channel is confidence, insecurities, how I've worked through that in my life, how I continue to work through that, as well as battles that I still face every single day. So that is kind of the theme of today's video. I just want to start by saying I still deal with insecurities very often. I would not say that I'm perfect and I'm like past my insecurities and everything's great and I'm super confident all the time, but as someone who has definitely suffered from very low confidence and huge insecurities for like the majority of my life, there are some things that I've learned along the way now at 25 that I feel like I kind of want to share. So growing up, I was always extremely insecure with my body. I was very tall, very fast. I was always like the tallest of my grade when I was younger. And when you're growing up and you start liking boys, that just doesn't really feel good when you're like taller than all the boys. I don't know. For me personally, it didn't make me feel good. It made me feel like huge and like a giant, basically. My insecurities started manifesting in different ways. I hit puberty really early. I hit puberty like before most of my classmates, which made me feel really gross and insecure, even though everybody goes through puberty. Well, I got acne really young in like 4th grade and started really bad habits of like picking my face. I was always really pale and people made fun of me for being pale, and I had like really just like a super red face from all of my acne, and like I was really insecure about my nose. It took me a while to grow into my nose and it was just bad. People tell me all the time I do not look how I used to look in grade school, probably up until the middle of high school. I would say I started becoming like a deeply insecure person in 4th grade. I just started getting greasy and tall and like my body was changing and it was just very hard. I was definitely always way more insecure about my looks than my personality. I feel like I always tried to make up for where I felt insecure physically with my personality. So I tried really hard to just be super nice, make friends with everyone, try to be as funny as I possibly could be. That way, if people were gonna make fun of me, it was only gonna be for my appearance and not my personality. I started showing really severe symptoms of body dysmorphic disorder probably around 8th grade to freshman year, and it got really bad. The picking of my face just got extremely severe, like to the point where my back would suffer from like bending and hunching over the mirror and picking my face. I never took photos. I begged people to not take photos of me. I had to avoid looking into mirrors because like it would just give me panic attacks if I did look into a mirror. I would see my body kind of like hallucinate and change right in front of me, which is very scary. My insecurity points, I would see they would morph when I was looking into the mirror. And what I saw in the mirror was like very different than like what other people saw when they looked at me. It's very complicated and hard to really explain because there's still days where I just don't really even know what I look like. I'm not familiar with my own appearance, and I think that just comes from like years of looking in the mirror, and I would like look at my face and I would see like my nose get bigger and smaller right in front of my face. Don't worry, I'm currently in therapy, don't worry. But I just want to share my experience with this because I was really hard on myself and I was really suffering as a young girl. And it would be to the point where I would sit in front of the mirror by myself and I would just pick my face for hours. I would just stare at myself for hours and I would think, oh, if I had 3 wishes, like these are the things about myself that I would change. These are like my physical features that I would change, and I would just daydream about being able to change those features. I was extremely self-deprecating and I felt myself annoyingly fishing for compliments and just trying to receive compliments to try to just reassure myself that I wasn't as like ugly as I looked to myself. And the thing is like, it doesn't matter how beautiful you are, how great you are. Like, some people just are insecure and there's like really nothing you can do about it. Like, that person needs to do the inner work. Like, I genuinely thought people were lying to me when they complimented me. So it was like this weird thing of like, I want people to compliment me, I'm gonna fish for compliments, but if they do compliment me, I think that they're lying to me just to make me feel better. I mean, I was like literally 14, 15, 16, like going through the worst like stages of puberty. When I got into college, a weird shift happened. I became less insecure about my appearance, but way more insecure about my personality, which was like really weird territory for me. I've never struggled making friends. I've always been like a very social person. I love being friends with any and everybody. So that was really weird for me. I was in like a pretty difficult situation the first 2 years of college, which kind of like prevented me from making friends. And when I wanted to make friends, people kind of like already had their friends groups, which was nobody's fault. But it was really, really hard for me to make friends. I was just so awkward. I would try to hang out with like different friend groups and I just didn't feel like I belonged. I feel like I had missed out on so much. Like, they had the first 2 years of college together and I was just like coming in. I felt like they felt bad for me. I didn't feel genuinely liked by those people. And this could have been just me overthinking, but it was just really hard for me to fit in to college because I got such a late start in making friends. I felt like no matter how hard I tried, they just thought I was weird and like not cool. So I started to overcompensate by working. I mean, I already had to work a lot, but I would just work more because it would be an excuse for me to not explain like why I wasn't hanging out with friends or going out to the bars every weekend. I would just try to do other stuff to overcompensate and make it seem like I was less of the loser that I felt like I was. Then after college, it was just kind of like a mix of both. I felt so insecure about my appearance, who I was as a person, my personality, and a lot of that just had to do with like really severe post-grad anxiety. I had no idea what I was gonna do with my life. I felt like I was just thrust into adulthood. Like, it all just happened so fast and my insecurities followed me through that. My fiance and I were dating long distance at the time, so I had a lot of opportunity to really explore myself and who I was alone. I would start taking myself out to eat alone. I would go to the mall alone. I would go out and just try to push myself to do things alone and get to know myself better and try to develop myself as a person, like watching YouTube videos about how other people worked on their confidence, trying different styles of makeup, trying to find my own personal style, really trying to just take care of myself more and explore my own personal needs as my own human, as Alyssa. And I just feel like a big stressor for me that has like hindered my confidence is like social media. I'm really bad at comparing myself on social media. It's really difficult. It's really hard for our brains to be exposed to so many different beautiful people, so many different opinions, so many different thoughts, so many different things, so many different real world events. It's really hard to not feel like constantly overstimulated. And when you see all these beautiful people living like these lavish, luxurious lives, it's really hard to not compare yourself because you don't have that. It just kind of got to the point where I was just so tired of feeling insecure and comparing myself. And I mean, I still to this day, it's really hard to not, like, I find myself comparing, but I remind myself of this quote that I'm about to read and it helps me feel a lot better. It was something along the lines of flowers and oceans are both beautiful, yet they look nothing alike. And that really resonated with me because we so often are like, oh, Ariana Grande is beautiful, Beyonce is beautiful, Rihanna's beautiful, you know, all these different people are beautiful, but they look nothing alike. So while I'm sitting here comparing myself to this one person and I'm like, gosh, I wish I looked just like them, but in reality, like, they look like them. They don't really look like anybody else and I look like me. Like, there's space for everyone to be beautiful. Even, I know it's hard because when you're comparing yourself, you feel so small and it's hard for you to see past that, but like, just because that person is beautiful, it doesn't make you not beautiful. Like, everyone is just so beautiful in their own different ways. And I know that's such a cliche, but like, if you think about it, you can see it You can see it yourself in celebrities and the people that are presented to us. Like, you can look at your favorite celebrity and they look nothing like, you know, this other celebrity, but they both can be beautiful in just totally different categories and ways, but neither of them diminish the other's beauty. I just kind of came to the realization that unless I'm willing to spend absorbent amounts of money, I'm not going to change my face. Nothing about me is going to change, obviously, unless I choose to go plastic surgery, which I don't really want to. But the point is like, there's really no use in hating your features when there's nothing that you can do about them. So you might as well just embrace them and own them and figure out a way to make it work for you. I used to hate my nose, but I feel like I've started to really grow into my nose, and it's definitely not small and cute and like a button nose like other people, but I have come to really like my nose, and I like how big it is, and I like its weird shape. I feel like it fits my face now. I think just over time, just getting used to my features and figuring out how I like my makeup to look and what I think looks good on my body and stuff like that. Just working with what you have and focusing on what you have and making it work for you instead of spending your time wishing you had what another person had is gonna be just more beneficial. So instead of, oh, I wish I had this tiny little cute nose, I'm like, okay, I don't have that. No matter how much I think about it or wish it, I don't have it. So let's make it work for me. Like, let's just get used to it. Let's just own it. And maybe this is just because I've gotten older and I don't really have the time to be as like sit and be as insecure as I was, just because it's literally so exhausting. It's getting me nowhere. No matter how much I think and worry, it's not getting me anywhere. And I'm not even saying that to invalidate my own feelings or to invalidate others, because at the end of the day, insecurities are very valid and everybody's gonna feel insecure sometimes, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm just trying to change my outlook. I'm still allowed to have bad days where I just feel super ugly and gross and I'm just not liking the way that I look, but in the grand scheme of things, I know my face is my face and there's really nothing I can do about it. Taking the time to really like put effort and care and love into myself has really helped too. When I was younger, I just always thought I was too busy to do certain things like take care of my skin and do my skincare routine or like put lotion on after the shower. I just wanted to go lay in my bed and like be on my phone. I didn't take the time to like slow down and take care of myself. So eating right and working out, trying to get into working out and taking care of my skin and my body has really helped me become more confident in my own skin, because I'm putting so much work and effort into myself. It's really hard to not, you know, feel proud of that, especially when you stick to it and you stay consistent and you start seeing the results. So that kind of takes care of like where I'm at with my physical appearance. I just want to reiterate, I still do have good days and bad days. It's not like I'm just cured of my insecurities, but I've been working on my mindset about these things, and that's what's really helped me grow over my insecurities and build my self-confidence is my overall mindset switch. As for my personality, I just try to be the best friend that I can be. I try to be mindful of my communication, the type of friend and person that I'm being. Pay attention to how I talk and how I listen, but I try not to obsess over it like I used to. I started living with a motto of, if my friends or these people are mad at me or if they think I'm annoying, they'll tell me. They'll end up telling me at some point. There's no use worrying about whether I'm annoying or if they're mad at me, because at the end of the day, if I'm sitting here obsessing over whether they're mad at me right now, it's doing nothing except making me feel bad. If they thought I was annoying, they wouldn't want to hang out with me. They wouldn't want to talk to me. If they were mad at me, they would, you know, it would be really apparent and they'd probably say something. So like, why am I worrying about these things if, you know, they're talking to me and they're texting me and they want to hang out with me? Like, you know, they wouldn't want to do those things if they thought, you know, negative things about me. So why am I worrying about them? They don't owe it to me to be my friend or be in my life. So if they make a place for themselves in my life, that is enough for me now. I guess my main point is just embrace who you are, what you look like, the personality that you have, because that was what was meant for you. You're this way for a reason, and obviously self-improvement and self-love and self-care is so important, but it's important for it to be a good, healthy, happy process and not just a way to change yourself into something that you're not. You have to let yourself evolve and grow into the way that you've always meant for it to be. Put that effort in to grow and better yourself in the ways that you've always dreamed, and it will really reap benefits and you'll see it transform your life. I just want you guys to know and to emphasize that it's important to put in the effort into loving the you that you were given. And that's just kind of my spiel. I'm still learning every single day. I hope this was helpful. It's gonna be a day-by-day process and you're ever growing, and that's what's important. Just don't give up on yourself. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It was really fun to sit down and talk about my confidence journey and just kind of reflect and see how far I feel like I've come on my own. It would mean the world to me if you would hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified every single time I post. Leave a like, leave a comment, whatever you feel like doing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!